Hello friends, I welcome you to EPG Pathshala. My name is Dr. Amit Katoch and I am working as Assistant Professor in University Institute of Hotel and Tourism Management of Punjab University. Dear students, I would be taking the module titled Issues and Challenges Faced by the Airlines in Cargo Operations under the paper Cargo Operations and Management. After completing this module, students will be able to understand the meaning and concept of cargo handling in aviation, understand the major issues and challenges faced by air cargo industry, know the Indian scenario of cargo handling operations, and know the global scenario of cargo handling operations. Firstly, I will discuss the introduction. Worldwide, importers and exporters use air cargo for rapid and reliable delivery. Sending cargo by air is indispensable to various facets of modern life. The IATA predicts that on an average, the cargo business generates 9% of airlines' revenues. Speed, reliability and protection are three main reasons to prefer cargo by air. However, on the other side, there are certain limitations of air cargo vis-a-vis high cost, CO2 emission and heavy shipments. The Global Air Cargo Advisory Group pays attention to various issues and challenges of air cargo including e-commerce, security, sustainability, customs and trade facilitation. GACAG members consist of IATA, FIATA, GSF and TIACA. The present module discusses some of the major concerns and confronts of air cargo functions. Now I will discuss the key issues and challenges in air cargo operations. According to the IATA forecast, by 2017, the value of international trade shipped by air will be 5.5 trillion, which indicates the only 1% of world trade by volume, but will be over 35% by value. It will be equivalent to USD 18.6 billion worth of goods per day. Keeping in view the value of air cargo, there are certain key issues and challenges. Those plays a significant role in smooth cargo operations and future of air cargo. This may include but are not limited to increasing fuel prices, unremitting security threats, unstable inventory strategies, mode shifting and supplier consolidations, etc. Need of the hour is to focus upon certain factors including rising fuel prices, rising safety, anxiety, amended inventory management policies, competition from other transport modes and industry consolidation. High ATF, that is airline turbine fuel prices. The ever increasing price of fuel ATF cost is the major issue for air cargo. In India, also ATF price is higher when compared to the international market. The price of ATF accounts for almost 45% of operational cost. The increased cost can be determined by various factors such as high demand from third world China and India, insufficient refining capacity in the Western Hemisphere, political unsteadiness in the Middle East, lack of competition amongst fuel suppliers, regular safety and security threats. It is quite difficult to screen all the air cargo because of its complex characteristics. Cargo includes diversity among its customers and the models by which they are being served. For the safety and security of air cargo as well as passengers, IATA focus on certain regulations such as safety and security for AML, e-commerce, lithium batteries, smart and harmonized regulations, data sharing and ACID, that is Air Cargo Incident Database. Any type of air cargo needs to follow the above regulations amended by IATA time to time. It is advised to check latest IATA regulations on its website before sending any shipment. One major challenge is also infrastructural issues. Indian civil aviation is facing the infrastructural sadness as a major barrier towards growth of aviation sector. In recent years, the Ministry of Civil Aviation in India had planned to stress urgency in national infrastructure expansion, which apparently reflects from the Vision 2020 document of Ministry. This document focuses on handling 280 million passengers per year in India by 2020. Towards accomplishment of this vision, ultra-modern airports are being developed at New Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad and Kochi. Other challenges are congestion problem. The overcrowding or congestion leads to huge wastage of fuel. If any flight drift in the air for additional half an hour, it consumes between 25 to 30% extra fuel, which automatically increases the operational cost of an airline. In India, congestion is reported mainly at Mumbai and Delhi airports. The overcrowding or congestion do affect the turnaround time of an aircraft and reduces the average aircraft use. To overcome from such additional costs, it is mandatory to provide proficient landing and takeoff services, which are only possible with improved infrastructure at the airports. Other challenges are high airport charge. The airport's charges in India are quite high because they include various other charges such as user development fees in case of private airports, route navigation facility charges, that is RNFC, X-ray baggage charges, landing, housing and packaging charges, terminal navigation, landing charges. All these charges formulate a major portion of airport taxes, by virtue of which the airport taxes in India are higher. Other challenges are availability of alternate airports. In India, there is a negligible availability of alternate airports for aviation operations. This is due to the busy schedule of the existing airports and selected airport developments in the country. Due to this, air carriers don't have choice to land or take off from any other alternate airport. Instead of not only paying huge airport tax but sometimes drifting in the air due to congestion. It further raises the operational cost of an air carrier. Other challenges include substitute appearance LCC. In the past few years, the low-cost carriers in the aviation sector have appeared as an option for the third and second class rail passengers. It is due to the insignificant disparities in the price of their respective tickets and the less consumption of travel time by air. On the one side, such economic pricing provides people to airlift themselves, but on the other hand, it creates huge pressure on the airports. Such a huge demand of air travel is another rising issue which needs to be sustained tactfully. Scarcity of technical manpower. The technological cadre of civil aviation is facing shortage of trained and skilled manpower. The subgroup on HRD estimates that by 2030 the demand of aircraft controllers, qualified pilots and aircraft maintenance engineers would be very high because of the new developed airports and increased players in Indian aviation industry. Therefore, India needs to train its more technical manpower for success in its aviation operations. Safety and security. Keeping in view the regular security threats and serial bombing in the country, witnessed terrorist attacks, surely there is an urgency to evaluate the present safety and security measures. The tight security should be incorporated for successful defense of radical events, and strict safety measures are required to avoid accidents. The close surveillance, oversight audits, monitoring of catastrophe movements and surprise checks on flights and its operations are advised. Improved inventory policies. Along with the supply chain risks and the potential for growing interference, aviation operational companies continuously raising the question of maintaining lean inventories. However, the manufacturers and retailers are deciding to carry more safety stock to cover demand and avoid calamity air freight. Land acquisition and infringement. The proliferation of slums around the airports such as Mumbai is a growing long-term danger. Such proliferations starts land encroachment over the years and sometimes are difficult to remove due to various social and political issues. However, to construct greenfield, merchant, cargo and low-cost airports, a huge land along with various approvals from other ministries are required. Similarly, transformation of existing domestic and international airports faces the difficulty towards acquiring more space, which is being determined by the harmonization among administrative departments of the state and central government agencies. Closure of old airports. Keeping in view the failure of existing airports towards its feasibility of transformation, the old airports are being closed by the authority. The recent examples in this regard can be drawn from the commissioning of the new private airports at Bial, that is Bengaluru, and Hial, that is Hyderabad. The old airports at HAL Bangalore and Begumpet BPM Hyderabad respectively had to be decommissioned. It was an enormous depletion of the infrastructure and a colossal waste of public money. Fee for user towards development. Due to the high cost involvement in airport development, the new airports do charge user development fee which covers various development taxes, finally resulting in enhancing of airfares and cargo charges. Connectivity. Keeping in view the city growth and future aviation structures, maximum airports in the world are being located at outside city area. This practice has made the commuters to spend more time for traveling to the airports for the shorter duration routes. This is due to fact that the waiting time for air passengers is quite higher than rail. This has led to the commuters preferring rail or roads for the shorter routes. Technology. Sustained development of engines and aircraft technology has progressively reduced fuel consumption to about 35 liters per 100 RTK. 35 liters of fuel spent to carry 100 tons of revenue weight, packs and cargo over 1 kilometer in comparison to 110 liters about 16 years ago. New technology aircrafts like B787 and A350 consume 20 to 30% less fuel than the aircraft they would replace. However, not all airlines would be able to replace their fleet with modern technology aircraft for the want of capital. Old technology aircraft, which are quite heavy on fuel, remain in operations for decades to come. Environment. Growth in airline capacity also means more environmental damage resulting due to carbon emission. Old technology aircraft do relatively more damage to the environment than the new technology aircrafts. Introduction of carbon tax in Europe is the first step towards pressurizing industry to do something about it, use alternative fuels and new technology for the aircraft. Airspace and airport capacity. Arriving aircraft at busy airports have to wait in the air for their return to land. Holding in the air costs up to 12% extra fuel on the average. Runway capacity needs to be enhanced using modern technology such as reducing separation distances between successive arrivals and departures, rapid exit taxiways at proper distances along the runways surely will increase runways capacity and also improve airport capacity. Separate arrival and departure routes to facilitate continuous descent approach CDA and continuous ascent departures, that is CAD, will reduce fuel consumption and carbon emission. Restrictive bilateral regimes. Airline industry still remains the most regulated industry in the world because of a system of bilateralism. Since 1944, open skies bilateral air services agreements have been concluded by most of the states in the world. However, some of the states are still reluctant to do so, primarily under pressure from their national airlines. These states have not been able to privatize their loss-making national airlines, ostensibly due to socio-political reasons. Foreign investments in airlines are also restricted to 49% of shareholding in most of the world. Some states like Middle East do not allow any foreign investment in their airlines or airports. Biofuels. Just a few years ago, the concept of using biofuels to power commercial airliners was beyond the scope of modern science. But as of today, it is a reality and becoming an increasing source of jet fuels moving into the future. The benefits of biofuels are the friendly environmental impact they provide as well as the creation of fueling options. Biofuels were introduced in early test flights of 2008. In August 2011, Aeromexico completed the first intercontinental biofuel flight from Mexico City to Madrid. The aircraft was a Boeing 777-200ER and operated on a 30% blend of biofuel. Since then, there have been other flights utilizing a variety of biofuel blends. For the year 2015, the biofuel community has set a goal of having 1% of all aviation fuel to include biofuel content. Once that is achieved, the usage will begin to increase exponentially to 5%, then 10% as the learning curve improves. The current challenges facing the industry are making biofuels economically feasible while at the same time achieving a 50% life cycle reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. But as the future unfolds, this new fuel source will compete with petroleum to become a viable fuel source for commercial aircraft. It will also help maintain traditional fuel resources and reduce cost volatility while supporting environmental issues. Now I will discuss about the Indian scenario of cargo handling operations. The air cargo in India can possibly turn into a worldwide center point, yet poor framework and absence of cost proficiency are the real difficulties towards development of air cargo. In the previous years, aviation industry has seen numerous changes. The administrations progressing push to create foundation, the facilitating of directions for outside interest in aeronautics, and the presentation of load center points and exceptional monetary zones EMZ figure to give energy to the development of air freight in the coming years. Air terminals are being developed basically for the traveler carriage, and along these lines necessity of freight office improvement have also been considered important in initial years of aviation development. This leaves the whole coordinations of cargo foundation in woefully insufficient and ineffectively oversaw zone of the aviation. In any case, air terminals, for example Bengaluru and Hyderabad, have modern freight offices. Also improvement has been made at Delhi airport. Now I will discuss about the global aspect of cargo handling operations. Air freight has been anemic growth since 2010 and it continues in 2015 with a 1.9% increase in volumes. IATA estimates that volume growth will increase to 3% in 2016. Competition from integrators, land and sea modes of transport and increased airline fleet cargo capacity means yields are expected to fall a further 5.5% in 2016 after contracting every year since 2012. At WCS, IATA Director General and Chief Executive Officer Tony Tyler questioned why cargo has not undergone the same transformation that the passenger side has. There are lots of potential disruptors out there, data sharing platforms, new market entrants or e-commerce. The challenge is to stay a step ahead in satisfying customer expectations as said by Tyler. He noted that shippers give the industry a satisfaction rating of only 7 out of 10 on average. Paperless processes and customized services are critical to the sector's future. Electronic airwaybill EAWB adoption must accelerate. At the end of 2015, EAWB penetration should be at 36%. To speed this up, the industry is engaging governments and airports to achieve targeted initiatives. Another concern is the quality of service for time and temperature controlled shipments, especially pharmaceuticals. The breadth of change must expand more quickly with the likes of IATA's Center of Excellence for Independent Validators, Pharma Initiative for shippers to have full confidence. Tyler further added that only if the different participants in the air cargo value chain pull together behind a common vision, then only the industry will thrive in the coming decades. If the air cargo business can stay focused on the customer, delivering a reliable, high quality service at a competitive price and build on the speed and flexibility for which air freight is renowned, then this business will not only survive but prosper. Now I will summarize the whole module. The aviation segment in India dates back to 18th of February 1911 when first commercial flight from Allahabad to Naini took place. Amusingly, that flight is still considered to be the world's first AML service in civil aviation. Later, that group in 1915 introduced regular AML services between Karachi and Madras, which can be seen as the first attempt to tap the air cargo segment. With the abolition of the Air Corporation Act in 1994, private airlines got the permission to operate scheduled services, which saw a flood of private airlines players in the market like Air Sahara, Jet Airways, Modi Luft, NEPC Airlines, Damania Airways and East West Airlines commencing domestic operations. The real turning point in the Indian civil aviation sector, however, was the launch of low-cost carrier Air Deccan in 2003. Around the same time, India's aviation sector got another major boost. Privatization of airports started. In no time, private investment was flowing into the airports both directly as well as through the PPP mode, as is in the case with Mumbai, New Delhi and Bengaluru airports. Today, PPP airports handle maximum of India's air cargo traffic, although right now there are many challenges which are being faced by the Indian aviation industry, but growth prospect is also very much high. Government has to take an initiative to improve the airport infrastructure and to pour in some investments as well. Keeping in view the aviation sector demands, some steps are already being taken by the government for the development of aviation industry. Therefore, it can be assumed that apart from all the challenges and other issues, the air cargo industry has a vivid future in a country like India. And surely there is a great scope to develop it so that it is beneficial for all its stakeholders. The air cargo in India can possibly turn into a worldwide center point, yet poor framework and absence of cost proficiency are the real difficulties towards development of air cargo. In the previous years, aviation industry has seen numerous changes. The administration's progressive push to create foundation, the facilitating of directions for outside interest in aeronautics and the presentation of load center points and exceptional monetary zones EMZ figure to give more energy to the development of air freight in the coming years. At the end, I would like to say is that everything negative, pressure, challenges is all an opportunity for the cargo industry to rise. Thank you and have a nice day.